Hello and welcome to Adulting Without Supervision. In today's video, we continue our plumbing journey from last week with an installation of Adler's spot-resistant brushed nickel bathtub kit. So we start off with prepping the new valve. Since all four ports are external threads, anything attached to it must be able to be screwed on. Make sure you rub down external threads with rubbing alcohol to clean it properly, even if it's new. Then apply plumbing tape to the thread. Make sure you are wrapping it in the correct direction to where when you screw on the attachment, it doesn't become undone. Since my plumbing did not have a shutoff valve for either the hot or the cold, I kind of cheated with the shark bite. It came with a hose, basically like the same for a toilet, where it's flexible. We're going to test this out and see how it goes. Since SharkBite has a rubber ring inside of it, I want to try and go the extra mile and make sure that we sand the top of the pipe to make sure there's no sharp edge from the cut. If you can, you also want to pick the cleanest spot on the pipe to attach it, and I just went ahead and rubbed it down with some rubbing alcohol as well. Before getting too much ahead of myself, I went ahead and tested the valves to make sure there was no leaks before I went ahead with the install. So this is where I was a little unsure about how this would work. When I put this 90 in, I didn't really think about the fact that even after being installed, SharkBite allows the pipe to be able to rotate. Also, forgive me, person in the future who may have my home, I couldn't find a copper pipe that had a thread on the end, so I took a threaded copper piece, used a long socket, and bolted it down so I could cheat again and just use another double-sided SharkBite. In other words, that spout will never come off unless you take it off from within the wall. Make sure this clip is in before you start finishing your installation. You're going to want to make sure that you stick your metal sleeve through the back plate from behind to make sure you get that watertight seal. Due to the way that the old one came out of the wall a little bit, the new one pokes out a little more than it should. It should be more flush with the wall, but since the back plate has that watertight seal, I'm not really that worried about it. We're also probably going to redo our bathroom in about 10 years anyway. This little plastic piece is just a way to make sure a child doesn't turn the hot water all the way up. I don't know if you can remove it, so supposedly you can set it to where it's not functional, but I do believe you have to have it in there. If you don't care how hot it gets, just basically make sure the little notch on top lines up with the piece that you first put in. Now this is the piece that actually turns the valve on and off, which by the way, after you've installed it, it doesn't mean that the valve is closed. You may have to take it back off and readjust it to make sure. I'll tell you what, when you hear water when you're trying to listen for leaks, and it's a lot, it scares the crap out of you. And it's always better safe than sorry, so make sure after you've screwed it on that it turns properly. As for putting on the handle, it's pretty simple. You just line it up with the piece that you just put on, and then you turn it to the side, you put the bolt on, and then screw it down with the Allen key. And again, just like last time, turn it, make sure that it's able to move freely. As for the drain stopper, unfortunately it was really disappointing. I bought a nice set, gonna switch it out, and when I put it on, for some reason, it would not go the same distance as the old one. I made sure they were the exact same height, it just kept getting stuck. So unfortunately I ended up using the old one with a new faceplate. I also wanted to see if I flipped it upside down, if the drain level would be higher. But unfortunately, for some reason, it's still drained at the exact same height. Well, guys, thanks for coming along with me on this plumbing journey. If you guys like this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And of course, if you guys have any suggestions, please let us know in the comments.